Hello, my Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I want to talk about the Daily Arenas guide that was compiled and put together by Wet the System through the Team Hyperion pad website. So, for those who are not in the know, the Hyperion website is basically a gathering of various content creators for pad, and there's a bunch of streamers, there's actual people who write articles, so on and so forth, and Wet the System has graciously put together a wonderfully compiled list of various teams that can be used to farm the various daily arenas in 2-player. The reason why it's done in 2-player is because there's really no advantage to utilizing 1-player because it's rare invades you're going for. In co-op versus solo, there is no difference in terms of rare invades spawn appearance. You can give yourself all the dungeon boosts you like, it doesn't actually change the chances of you actually encountering an invade. And at this point in time, it's still under construction. Not all the days have been released, but they will be over time, and I will definitely link this article in the description down below. But we have a team for Wednesday, but today is Thursday, so let's take a look at the Thursday team. So I don't have every single card on this team, and there's a good chance you don't either, but there are lots of workarounds. The big key is you need to have easy to use leaders, and for myself, I have 2 mojitos, so I'm just going to pretend that Pegasus is a mojito. We're just gonna pretend it is because it works for myself. Drawback is I have more light and fire orbs on a regular basis, but that's okay. It's easy enough to get rid of. You also want to make sure you have that Horus. You want to have like the correct inherits for void, damage, void. So if you have like say Envy, you have like this individual here from JJK, like there are multiple different options you could utilize. And remember, the inherits on the cards don't care about the awakening. So aside from like Cloud and Tape Resist and the killers from the Goldfish Girl weapon, you just inherit whatever you need for the given team. And if you're concerned about damage being an issue, inherit some extra rows or orb enhances, or just stick on cards that have a bit more damage. For myself, I decided to just stick on some Pandoras onto my team because they are able to like fulfill a bit more damage roll. They make the buff, the attack buff for Mojito a little stronger, and they're just pretty girls, so why not? So with that in mind, let us take a look at my actual attempt to play through. So I'm basically going to follow the exact same pattern of the active skills I need to use on a given floor. Basically on floor 1, I'm going to utilize the void, damage, void, the haste to make sure everything comes up. And then on the final floor, it's just using a bunch of gravities in order to basically punch down the final spawn. And remember, just make sure you don't overcharge. It's not too hard to overcharge. Like, I will not hit 42 turns, so these are very safe to inherit. So there's that Cloud resist, because I didn't have all the weapon assists. The idea is you need to have, like, Cloud, I'd say Tape. You want the haste, you want the void, damage, voids, and really you're good to go from there. So, once I jump into floor 1, I'm going to utilize my transforms. So I'm going to just follow the instructions on the side. Just remember, pretend the Pegasus is Mojito, and everything else is pretty similar. So I am going to transform my leader. Gonna use the Insane Jealousy. I just inherited an Envy. I didn't even use like the key or the weapon assist. I just straight up inherited Envy. And then I'm going to use my other transform. And then I'm going to use the 2 turns of haste. The reason why the 2 turns of haste is necessary is because, well, you just cycle back your leaders and then they are ready to go again. So I'm just going to match a bunch. Again, if you're paranoid about damage, just match a little bit more. I feel like with Pegasus, you have much more damage with Pegasus because Pegasus actually has much higher personal damage. He has double 7 combo. So, again, like I said, I just threw in a few more rows, like Pandora adds more rows. Pandora has VDPs, which makes Mojito's active do more. This spawn on floor 2 didn't have void, damage void, so it wasn't quite necessary, but there's a chance it might be. And remember, like, 1 row is going to kill things. I try and get rid of some of extra light and fire orbs. But yeah, it's basically a matter of just utilizing your active skills from your leaders, throwing in Horus every once in a while for the time buff, and then just being mindful of not matching too many things on the color absorb. And putting all your dark attributes later on makes it easier. So again, utilizing Mojito, and bam. Just trying to get rid of some of the extra orbs. I just want to make sure I always have enough orbs every turn. So like hearts, red, and light orbs are kind of quote-unquote bad, because I'll never be able to take them away with my active skill. But it's okay, there's plenty of orbs on the board. On floor 4, just using a leader again. There is a time debuff. Okay. Like, make that row. Remember, VDP will obviously do much more damage. Row just is usually easier to make because it's more available. So I'm just going to do a bit more there. Just get rid of some of those extra red and light and heart orbs. Like, That's the only kind of quote-unquote drawback of this setup for myself, but at the same time, it's really not that hard to match a couple extra combos. This is already quite straightforward. So, again, these leaders are great because these combo shields become incredibly easy to overcome. Technically, one combo is enough to overcome this combo shield, which is definitely a pleasant aspect. So, I guess I could have used Horus there to get rid of the time debuff. It's okay. I managed to match fast enough. Floor 6, just use leader. And there is the color absorb of fire and light, so if you don't have fire on the team, easier. I put all the light sub-attributes earlier on, so that means even if I actually match light orbs, which is a chance I will, it is okay, because I'm going to be utilizing the dark sub-attributes afterwards. So, like, they will hit, but Pandora, Zeus and Hera, and Mojito also have those dark damage. There's going to be much more dark damage than light. We are okay. What floor am I on now? I am on floor... what is it? I'm on floor 9, it looks like. So, on floor 9, I need to use the Inherit to have Void, Damage Void, just double... No, I'm on floor 7. Ignore me! I am ahead of myself. I'm ahead of my time, if you may. So, we're just going to get rid of some things. On to the next floor. Mojitos do have auto follow attack, makes life much easier. So they need me to match 8 or more combos. I get 7 from just a single blob of dark. No problems here. And again, I do want to clear a bit more light and fire orbs because they are technically not helpful to me. And I made a VDP because why not? Just to show that VDP obviously does much more damage because Mojitos do have big damage. 1 billion or so per liter. More than enough. Completely more than enough. Alrighty, so on floor 9, I am going to utilize the active skills that I've listed on the side. So I'm going to utilize the Void Damage Void active skill so it carries over for the next floor. So Void Damage Void. I get Spinners, which is kind of rude, but it's okay. I'm going to use Horus for the movement time so I don't get debuffed like that. And then I'm going to use Mojito to give myself a board. And if you're paranoid, you can just match a little bit more combos. I'm quite confident this dies anyways, though. Like, damage is high. Yeah, tremendously high. So, we're going to utilize the Trelo-style gravity here in order to kill this floor. It's not a problem. Like I said, I inherited it onto my Pandora. So, the gravity kills it, and it preserves my turn. So, it's still fantastic, or player B's turn. And, oh, I got the invade. So, let's follow the instructions carefully. You need to use Zeus and Hera first, then Nyx. That will immediately push them to 50% super resolve. So, let's do that. And Nyx. This thing has 50 billion health. Kind of absurd. And now, it's below 50% health. I'm going to use the other Nyx, and then pass back to myself, and use my final Nyx, and kill it. This thing actually has a monstrous amount of health. I would never be able to kill it without gravities. And gravity cheesing is, in all honesty, one of the most efficient strategies for this dungeon. Got the invade! Big money! Didn't expect that to happen. I probably should get more, I think. Is this... yeah, more is more. But it's easy enough to play. So, there we go! A great recording. It actually has the end spawn appear as the rare invade. So yeah, just follow the instructions. Make sure you have the correct gravities. Zeus and Hera, Hera Nyxes, they are all farmable options. So I've got a beautiful cleric-style active skill potentially. So hopefully this video provides you with some insight as to what you can do to tackle Thursday Dungeon or Thursday Arena in 2-player. True gravities are your friend. Just mix and match as necessary for the given team in order to have what you need to overcome the dungeon, but there's not too many mechanics overall. So, hopefully this video provides you with some insight as to what you can do to tackle this dungeon. I wish you all the very best of luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.